My dear students, now let us continue with the spotters of environmental health in the practical session. Okay, so what are these spotters which are public health important under environmental health? There are different kinds of thermometers we usually use to measure air temperature, humidity. We measure the alcohol thermometer, mercury thermometer. Okay, so let us understand these different types of spotters under environmental health. First of all, the first one is minimum and maximum thermometer. Yes, we need to write down all these in your record. Okay, when you come back, we'll be showing those instruments from in our laboratory. Okay, in our research lab. So, and again I am going to brief you about those spotters. Okay, so this minimum and maximum thermometers, the most important things we expect you to know is you need to identify and mention the uses. So yes, you will tell about minimum and maximum thermometer, and for recording the lowest and the highest temperature of air attained over a period of time. Yes, so this thermometer is used. Okay, so it may be asked in otherwise as mention their types. So there are minimum thermometer, alcohol thermometer. Okay, for maximum thermometer they are mercury thermometer. Okay, this is one kind of thermometer used to measure the lowest and the highest temperature of air attained over period of time. So we have then the dry and wet bulb thermometer. Yes, here it is very important you to hold and see this. Okay, so just you understand the uses and identification I will teach you when you come back to the college. Okay, so it is mainly used dry thermometer for measuring air temperature, wet thermometer for measuring the humidity. Okay, so what is the difference between the two? So the bulb of the wet thermometer is kept wet by means of muslin cloth. Yes, a cloth will be tied around the bulb of the thermometer. Okay, and that will be fed by water from a bottle through a whisk. Okay, so this is the differentiating between the features of between the dry and the wet bulb thermometer. We have called a globe thermometer also. Okay, it is like a big globe. How you see a globe, no? It will be like that. It is for measuring a direct measurement of mean radiant temperature of the surrounding. Okay, so surrounding temperature you can identify with the help of globe thermometer. And why it records the highest temperature than the ordinary dry bulb thermometer? This is one of the unique feature of globe thermometer, because it is affected by both the air temperature and the radiant heat of the surrounding. That's why it gives the higher temperature than the ordinary bulb thermometer. We have another thermometer called Cata Thermometer. Okay, all fancy names, you know, you will never forget these. Cata Thermometer, maximum and minimum, wet and dry, opposite words. Okay, and another is Cata Thermometer. Here, what is the uses of this Cata Thermometer? This is measuring the cooling power of the air. Yes, you are all getting confused, right? Okay, you need to read the chapter on environmental health and identify the differentiating features, and when you see them, hold in your hand and discuss. I think then you will be very much thorough in differentiating between the thermometer. Yes, here Cata Thermometer for measuring the cooling power of the air. So what are the types of this Cata Thermometer? It is having a yes, I have come very far. Yes, it is as two types, Cata thermometer and alcohol spirit thermometer. They are the different types of Cata thermometer. We have milk hydrometer also, you know, that is to identify for checking the purity of the milk, whether the milk is contaminated with bacteria or the dirt. Yes, this thermometer will help us in identifying the purity of the milk. Okay, so and how this principle works on? It works on Archimedes principle. Okay, on which principle does this lactothermometer work? It is on Archimedes principle. Then we have spirit hydrometer. So spirit hydrometer, to measure the alcohol content of spirit it is used. Okay, so it is calibrated from 0% to 100% alcohol by the volume. So you will be identify how much alcohol is there in the present in the spirit. So it is called spirit hydrometer. We have Arox operators. Yes, So to find out the dose of bleaching powder required for disinfection of water. So we have a Hydrox operators. It's based on this you will be learning to solve the problems on calculating the bleaching powder required for the disinfection of the water. Okay, so this is also an important instrument we will show you. Identify what is the minimum contact period of chlorination to be allowed before the water is allowed to drawn for use. Okay, 60 minutes. So this Aurochs operators, it is in the environmental chapter. Yes, you know about purification of water, before purification, filtration of water, that is slow sand filter, rapid sand filter. Yes, remember, then comes the purification and disinfection with chlorine. Chlorine is the disinfecting agent used for purifying the water. Okay, there when you are adding the bleaching powder, you will calculate how much bleaching powder is required to purify your water. Required amount of water, maybe a circular well or a pond or a river or a pot for the domestic purpose. Yes, how you are going to do. So there you will be using these Hydrox operators to calculate the amount of chlorine required to disinfect your water, and based on that you will be disinfecting your water and the water will be purified. Okay, so the minimum contact period, yes, for how long this chlorine should be in contact with the water, it should be about 60 minutes. Okay, so we have a analytical balance which you have already seen in your biochemistry lab. Yes, this is for why? This is for analytical balance. It is measuring the small mass in sub-milligram range. Okay, so this you are very well versed with this sub-milligram range. And why its measuring pan is inside a transparent enclosure with doors. Yes, you can see it is nicely jam-packed on all the sides with a transparent enclosure, so that the dust does not collect. So any air current in the room should not affect your balance operation. Mainly this is all used in pharmacology. I guess you will be using this analytical balance. You have experienced that how you will be calculating the amount of component chemical you will be measuring and used for your preparation of medicine, isn't it? So the same thing again here you are learning in preventive medicine also. Yes, so analytical balance. Yes, slow sand filter. Yes, you know this diagram. So we have a model in our museum. Yes, we will be showing you. So you know the filtration, it can happen in rapid and the slow. The main uses is purification of water on a large scale. Here, what are the elements of this slow sand filter? Supernatant water, a bed of graded sand and graded gravel, a under drainage system, a system of filter control valves. Okay, so what are its advantages? Slow sand filter, mainly it helps in purification or filtration of large water. What are the advantages of slow sand filter? It is simple to construct and operate. Cost of the construction is cheaper than that of rapid sand filters. Physical, chemical and bacteriological quality of filtered water is very high. A reduction in the total bacterial count is by 99.9 to 99.99%. Okay, so again we have a rapid sand filter. So what is the difference between this rapid and the slow? Here even this is used for purification of water on a large scale, but here the chamber, filter tank or filter box, okay, it is of sand, gravel support, under drainage system is there and wash water troughs. Okay, the main difference is here the bacteriological advantages. Rapid sand filter can deal with raw water directly. No preliminary storage is needed. The filter beds occupy less space. Filtration is rapid, 40 to 50 times the topsoil slant filter, and the washing of filter is easy. There is more flexibility in the operation. So these are the advantages of rapid sand filter over the slow sand filter. Yes, it's clear. Next, we'll move on to borehole latrine. Yes, we have a model here. Okay, and right now, what is the public health importance? It prevents the transmission of fecal-oral diseases such as typhoid, paratyphoid fever, diarrhea, dysentery, cholera, hookworm diseases, ascariasis and viral hepatitis. And there is a septic tank model. Yes, what is the use? Disposal of excreta and liquid waste. Name the two stages involved in the purification of sewage in specific time. Yes, it helps in aerobic digestion and anaerobic and aerobic digestion, oxidation happens in the septic tank. Okay, so where it should be sanitary well. Okay, sanitary well you have already seen. Okay, we have a model here in the college. So location not less than 15 meters from source of contamination. How should be the lining? Built of bricks or stones set in cement up to a depth of at least 6 meters, 60 to 90 centimeter above the ground level. Parapet wall height at least 70 to 75 centimeter above the ground. Platform, cement concrete platform extending at least 1 meter in all directions. Okay, drain, pakka drain. How should be the covering? Cement concrete cover. Hand pump should be there to drain the water. Then consumer responsibility is very important, and the quality, physical, chemical and bacterial quality of water should conform to the acceptable standards of quality of safe and wholesome water in rural setting. Okay, so that's all about the sanitary well. We have incinerator also. So what are the components of incinerator? It has furnaces, combustion chamber, chimney, charging system. Yes, what is the use of this incinerator? Disposal of refuse, particularly hospital refuse. Remember the hospital waste management. So most of the waste generated in the hospital we categorize into categories. We dispose them in different color codes, isn't it? And the different color codes and most of the waste will be incinerated, they are buried into ashes. Okay, so that is the incinerator. So these are the 14 models which all comes under the environmental health, and I request you all to enter these in your record book. Yes, and when you come back, yes, we'll have a fast class, a quick revision of all the spotters with sufficient and enough that you will be able to understand. Okay, so I want you all to, again I stress it, so please bring completed record when your college reopen. Okay, and read this chapter environmental health from the Park textbook. Yes, then you will better able to understand and remember well. Okay, so thank you all. I will wind up here. Stay at home, don't move around since the lockdown has relaxed. Okay, please stay at home until your college begins. Okay, then be regular to classes later on. Okay, go have a good day. Bye.